Okay, so some of you eagle-eyed people may have realised that I did the last one wrong. Well done. I always say read the question and read the question again and again, and I guess I didn't do that, but it's a pretty simple fix. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this one. This page, I put this in the wrong column, it should be in this one here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that, I'm going to press Control, Shift and down, which takes me all the way down to the bottom, and I'm just going to press Control X, which cuts it. And then in here, instead of pasting straight away, which will give us the wrong values, oh, it actually gave us the right ones. Okay, that works. You can just paste it, but what I was going to say is right-click on it and you get this paste option, and you can paste it with just the values. But this way we get to keep our nice formulas. Okay, so question 1E. This one's a little bit different, and it's probably the most difficult one of the whole exam. And you think it's asking you to do a lookup. So if we have a look at pay scales, our first one was C3, so C3, so it should be 28,400. We'll try and remember that because it will help us to make sure we've done it correctly. But the problem you're going to get is if you do a VLOOKUP, C, and then you go across 3, you're going to end up with this one here, the wrong amount, because the number 3 is actually in column number 4. Yeah. So what you're going to use here is match, and I'll show you what match does. So first of all, I'm just going to match up and show you what it does if I match up the number 3. So lookup value, we're going to go for right text, this one, and the first character. Now if I go to my lookup array, that's going to be the pay scales. You just highlight what you want to match. Okay, so we just want to match whatever's inside this. You don't need to do the whole table, don't do that. Just get the first bit here, just like that. When I'm in this, I'm going to press comma and then 0, and I'm going to close the brackets. And I've got an issue, what have I done wrong? How have I got that wrong? Match, right, lookup value, F3, comma 1, that should be number 3. Pay scales, no, that's not good. Why can't it match number 3 then? Silly. Okay, so Excel is really intelligent, but sometimes it's really dumb, and we see this because we're intelligent young people as the number 3. However, Excel sees this as the letter 3 because it's paired with a C, which is a letter, so it converts the whole cell to text. So what we need to do is we need to change it to a value. So we change that to a value, go like that, and now I press enter, and I get the value of 4. So if you have a look here, I'll try and do it so you can see both. C3, it's gone across here and it's matched what column it's in. It's column number 4. There we go. So what we're going to use in a minute is when we say VLOOKUP and it says what columns you want, we're going to put this nice little match function in there. And what that will do is it will say column number 4 for the number 3. It matches 3 and it says what column is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can use that for our column index. We'll then go down there, match up with the C and output that number. This then works when it changes, so column number 1 is actually, the pay scale B1 is actually, the number 1 is in column number 2. So it will match that, get output as 2, and then we can just say look for the B, output column index number 2. Okay, so let's do this. So first of all, VLOOKUP, and it says lookup value. We want to go for the C now. We're going to match up that C just there. So I'm going to go lookup value. We want to go left, open up the brackets. Because this is already text, we can leave it as text. It's going to match up to that, and I press 1. Close up my brackets. That's our lookup value done. Now I press comma and it says table array. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the whole array this time. So I'm going to highlight over all of that. Don't worry about these blank ones because we'll never get them, so it's all good. There's no one that's on E7. It goes up to E5 is the highest one, so we don't need to worry about the blanks. Now our column index is this part here, and this is going to output number 4. So let's just do this together in our heads. VLOOKUP left, so we're going for C, and it's looking for the table array, which is here. Okay, and what it's going to do is it's going to match up C. So it goes down here and it goes, ding, 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 row number 5, I found it for you. And then it goes, what column do you want me to output? And we've just told it to match up with the value in the right part of this, value 3. So this outputs, this bit here, outputs number 4. So this is the equivalent for this one of just me writing number 4. Okay? But that, by us using this formula, it changes for every single one. So we don't have to go and do it manually. So I can just double click this afterwards and it will fill the whole of it in for me. So it's going to go down here. We've got the left is C, so it goes for row. It says, what table array do you want? We want this one here. And then it said, what column do you want me to output if I find a match for the letter that you told me to look for? Okay, and we've said number 4, so it goes, okay, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it will output C, column number 4, 28,400. We want an exact match. You rarely use the approximate match, so we're just going to put a 0 here, and I'm going to close the brackets, and there we go. 28,400. I'm just going to double click this and you'll see it goes all the way down to the bottom. The reason I'm filming on half the screen is because the quality was so bad last time on a whole screen, so I've minimized it. Okay, so we've got that. Let's go back to our question and see what we've got to do next. Display the, see guys, read the question. Pay column as euros. Okay, so I'm going to click this, euros, with 0 decimal places. There we go. Okay, next up, next question. For each branch, display subtotals for the total pay and the average pay. Members of staff on the e-pay are not members of the company executive. Their pay must not be included in the subtotals, but their data must not be deleted from the spreadsheet. Okay, so what we're going to do is we can see where Antwerp is. What we're going to do is we're actually going to use a formula that we've not used before. So if we go onto the data tab at the top and I go over to subtotal, it gives us a couple of different options. Okay, at each change in where it says branch, we want to change it for each branch. Just double check the question. For each branch, perfect. Okay, so what I'm going to do is not give a name, we scroll down to branch. So for each branch, use function sum. So that's going to give us our subtotal. Add subtotal to pay. The reason it's already gone to pay is probably because I was clicked on it, and also because it may be the only numerical value. Even though I can see branch code is, that might actually be saved as text. So it knows that pay is a numerical value because I've just said it's currency. There's no current subtotal, so I'm just going to uncheck that and press OK. And you'll see Antwerp total. Let's make that a bit bigger so we can see it. We've got Antwerp total, Marseille, Porto, Barcelona, and so on. And you can see that it's worked out exactly where each split, ding, 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 should be. Okay? And that goes all the way down until we get Hamburg and also a grand total at the bottom. That's not all the question asked though. It also says the average pay. Okay, so let's do that again. So we go up to data, all the way across to subtotal, and it says at each stage, change in branch, use function, average, perfect. We don't want to replace, if you do that, you'll lose the one you've already got. So I'm just going to press OK. Look at that, beautiful. All right, perfect. Okay, and we've got Marseille and so on and so forth. I wonder why that's got a little space there. Who knows? Okay, so we've done that. It says members of staff on the e-pay scale, members of the company executive, their pay must not be included in the subtotals, but their data must not be deleted from the spreadsheet. The reason they've got you to use this subtotals is because it will ignore anything you filter out. So have a look at the average at the moment. It's 30,712 and 522 is the total. I'm going to remove all of the C ones just to show you what the difference it will make. So what I'm going to do is I click here. I'm then going to go to filter, and now you get these nice little arrows, and I can click down and I select what I want. So if I go down to, I'm going to get rid of all the C's. So remember it's 30,000 and 522, and you'll see that it's changed it 437 and 31. So the average has gone up, the total's gone down. Okay, that only works with subtotal. If you do this with sum, it will still give you the full amount and it won't change. So subtotal is a really, really useful function for us to remember. Right, let's get select all, and it says it just doesn't want the E ones. So I'm scrolling, there we go. E1, E3, get rid of them. And you'll scroll down now and you'll see that all of the E's have gone. There are genuinely E's in here. So let's get rid of everything and just make sure that they have got rid of them. So Antwerp's got one E1, and that is Joel Knight, lucky man earning €70,000. So let's select all again, get rid of the E's, and just make sure Mr. Knight doesn't appear. Okay, and we can see he was probably number 12, which makes sense because he's KN. So he's disappeared, and our total calculates everything minus his executive pay. Okay, another one done. The subtotals for each branch should be recorded in branch analysis file. The data in this file must update automatically and reflect any changes to staff pay. Okay, I was thinking for a while, how can I do this part quickly? So let's have a look. This is our total pay. This is our average pay. I was thinking, could I do Vlookup, anything like that? But unfortunately, I actually think this one is just easier if you just go equals and maybe have this one just behind it, just above it or something, and then equals. So for total pay, click on that and press enter. This still updates it automatically. It is a little bit long-winded, unfortunately, but it is, I think, the quickest way to do it. Marseille, go down here, total, Marseille. The reason I'm doing these rather than doing it one by one, as in going down total in order, is because then I have to keep scrolling up and down. So I think this is a bit more efficient. So I click on that, I go up to Porto equals that one, Porto equals that one, and this is just the quickest way to do it. So there we go. I'll try and do this as fast as I can. This feels a bit old school, but there we go. Maybe you guys can see if you can beat how fast I'm doing it. That's fun, isn't it? I know how to have fun. Okay, almost there. Okay. Alright, and we'll just format that whole row. So I'm just going to go up here, home, currency, euro. Lovely. Okay, just double check and make sure that you haven't got any totals in the averages or anything. And okay, let's have a look. The next part, the data in the file must update. So this will update automatically. I'll show you an example of that. Amsterdam average 29,000, so let's get that there, down here. I'm just going to change this to 6 billion, and we're just going to make sure that that's changed. So now it doesn't even fit, so we can see that that has changed. So I'm just going to undo that. That's all it means when it says automated. Next part, you just need to make a graph. Here we go. So there's two ways you can do this. You can highlight all of it like this, but honestly the easiest way is just to copy this, put it here, make that a little bit wider. Total pay, I'm going to put there. Average pay, down. Total pay up there. Average pay, I keep pressing the wrong button. Average pay up there. And now you just highlight over all of it, insert, column, 2D. And that's that. The next is a question and evidence. Basically the difference is that a spreadsheet formula could be E equals A1 plus B1, and a spreadsheet function is when we use a predetermined function that's in the program, like sum, countif, and that kind of thing. You also need to add your titles, axes, everything like that onto this. Up here you just go to layout, chart title, overlay, and you can name it whatever you like. Okay, and that's the whole of the spreadsheet's part of that done. Good luck. Let me know how you did.